Jennifer Gatman, doctor of psychology, witnessed an alarming rate of low self-esteem among her clients, which is linked to a critical self-concept. According to her, it is estimated that roughly 85% of people worldwide have low self-esteem. Low self-esteem has been linked to violent behavior, school dropout rates, teenage pregnancy, suicide, and low academic achievement. The World Health Organization reports that more deaths are caused by suicide every year than homicide or war. According to Srini Pillai 2016, self-acceptance is the primary step in expressing love for oneself. We are more likely to experience happiness and fulfillment when we express love. Self-acceptance is defined as an individual's acceptance of all of his or her traits, positive or negative, and it involves body acceptance, self-protection from negative criticism, and belief in one's own abilities. According to Barry 2019, adolescence is the stage between childhood and maturity. This period is considered important in one's life, particularly in molding one's personality. So every student requires self-acceptance in order to develop their full potential. It entails gaining a better awareness of oneself as well as being conscious of one's talents and weaknesses. It gives the impression of being a one-of-a-kind individual.
According to Baumeister et al., self-esteem also contributes to happiness. You are normally happy as a result of your accomplishments once you have confidence in your potential. Additionally, the more self-assured you are in your abilities, the more driven and determined you will be to act and achieve your goals. However, many students nowadays have low self-esteem and believe that their society is terrifying, that they are hesitant to find a solution, and that their emotional states will affect their academic achievement, as stated by Muhammad in 2010. Yu et al. Suppose that in the last 2 decades, studies in the United States have found that lack of self-esteem correlates with a variety of other intrapersonal characteristics and social comparison mentioned by Vogel et al., which led to self-guilt, regret, and blame, and lower rates of happiness, stated by Alderson and Katz Guerrero. Burleson et al. Hypothesized that and a sense of academic inferiority among university students because the capacity to accept oneself is so important in preventing our students from mental health problems. It's worth considering how that ability was created.
In a state university of the Philippines, students' academic achievement and self-efficacy revealed a substantial correlation. These studies reached the conclusion that a person with a high sense of self-worth is more likely to succeed academically. It is suggested that the university's Office of Students' Affairs conducts self-esteem development programs to help students maintain their self-esteem. These would enable students to analyze their thoughts and emotions and boost themselves, according to Yazun of year 2018. In Cebu City, Philippines, a study conducted by Moniva et al. Of year 2020 revealed that the selfie habits of the students can boost self-esteem rather than traditional photography. Many people nowadays prefer to capture selfies. Many people use selfies to attract the attention of their friends and relatives. Furthermore, many take selfies because they are lonely, depressed, or broken-hearted, and they utilize selfies to communicate their sentiments.
According to studies, people with high self-esteem experience more pleasant feelings and are more energetic, assertive, and healthy. People with low self-esteem, on the other hand, have more negative feelings, take less action, and even avoid problems, challenges, and dangers. This video presentation looks at how we can best equip students to successfully express themselves and to go out from their shells. This will guide students toward better body confidence and positive self-esteem using research-based lessons. Students must have faith in themselves and their potential to perform in order to succeed academically. Students' attention, motivation, and mindset can all benefit by increasing their self-esteem and self-acceptance. Students who are confident are more likely to be emotionally strong, act responsibly, and be aware, hence to be more successful learners.
Self-esteem in adolescents. According to Neve and Company in 2018, self-esteem is an overall assessment of a person's value, expressed positively or negatively. Orientation to oneself, its development begins from birth. The impact of experience, the role of self-esteem in the adolescent process is especially important during this period. It correlates both academic performances and mental health. Self-acceptance or rational emotive behavior therapy or REBT as a psychological armor that protects children and adolescents. Children's mental health and the needs of adults not combat the negative self-esteem tendencies of young people but also clearly teach self-acceptance by Bernard 2021. Social media and self-esteem as stated in Social Media and Self-Esteem in 2020, teen and preteens are among the most active users of social media by Anderson 2018. Children and adolescents use more sites and apps. As the number of sites and apps grows, the opinion that adolescents receive online through social media sites is likely to have an impact on their self-esteem. Burroughs 2017.
Relationship of self-esteem and self-acceptance and their effect on psychological health. According to Deborah L. McCannis 2006, developing both self-acceptance and self-esteem have been identified as ways to enhance cognitive interventions. Self-acceptance proved to be more closely linked to overall psychological well-being and to be more useful for treating general psychological disorders in therapeutic settings. Self-esteem and identities. According to John E. Stetz et al. 2014, while the majority of research focuses on self-worth, they propose three distinct types of self-esteem: worth-based, efficacy-based, and authenticity-based self-esteem. Each of these dimensions is linked to one of the three self-motivations, and they all emerge primarily through the verification of social or group role and individual identities.
According to the findings of Meredith et al. 2018, gender has an impact of teenager self-esteem. When compared to boys, girls appear to be more sensitive when it comes to their general self-esteem. In comparison to boys, girls exhibit much higher and unfavorable opinion toward themselves. Girls have a lower self-esteem than boys. For adolescents of that age, achieving and maintaining a strong and stable self-esteem is challenging. The team conceptualized a seminar entitled Loving You, Boosting Self-Esteem and Self-Acceptance to provide a platform for the discussion of one's self-confidence. Specifically, the seminar aims to: number 1, build student self-esteem and self-acceptance. Boost student self-esteem by focusing on strength instead of the perceived limitation. Gain the skills necessary to find the root causes of self-doubt and low self-worth.
Everybody suffers from fear and loathing brought on by self-awareness. Even celebrities.
I hate my face. You're too fat. Your skin isn't nice. And
It's okay. How do I hate? Does this look all right?
they're like, God, she's so ugly.
I'm not, a size 1 or 0.
I've worked very hard to not hate my body.
Celebrities have wealth and attention in abundance, and because they have an excess of what we crave, many expect famous people to be self-confident.
I don't think people would believe it, but I think it's self-taught. I don't think confidence is something that you are born with. I don't think confidence is, it's a skill set. And I had no confidence growing up. As a child, I was I had very low self-esteem. I was gawky as a teenager. I lived in America. I was made to feel conscious about the fact that I was Indian.
And I was so scared, and I was smoking. I'm sorry to tell everybody that, but like I was just like smoking my nerves away, and I just wasn't nourishing myself. And then cut to 10 years later, I've just figured out how to say thank you to life by trying to just absorb the best, by trying to nourish myself, by taking care of myself, by not apologizing for occupying space.
You just don't realize certain things, that you don't have a certain type. I never really understood what loving yourself was. You know what I mean? When people are like, you gotta love yourself, and you're like, I think I do. What are you doing wrong? This is not just about other people, this is about you. And you have to take responsibility for your life. So
you were saying you were looking for acceptance from the outside all the time, from the time you were little, instead of finding it from within.
Yeah.
Everyone has times when they feel a bit low or find it hard to believe in themselves. If this becomes a long-term situation, this can lead to problems, including mental health issues such as depression or anxiety. However, it is possible to improve your self-esteem at any age. There are a number of ways in which you can build self-esteem.
Niko Everett of TEDxYouth is the founder of Girls for Change. She has helped many young teens transform their communities and themselves by holding up a powerful mirror. Everett also suffered from low self-esteem, and her friend told her that,
and she said, Niko, you need to meet yourself. And when she said that to me, it was like something changed. It was like she held a mirror up for me, and what she was showing me was so different from what I had ever seen before. She said, Niko, you should be jealous of yourself. You're gutsy, you're hardworking, you're resilient. If you could meet yourself, you might really like her. But as quickly as she painted that image of me, it was gone. And I was totally confused because I see myself as embarrassing, unlovable, awkward. But I loved that image that she created, and I wanted it back.
she shares 4 ways for us to feel good about ourselves.
First thing that we can do to feel good about ourselves is we can spend time with people who make us feel good. This is me and Julie when I very first met her. Find your Julie and spend time with her or him. The second thing is that we can turn up the volume on our positive thinking, right? We can build up those thoughts about ourselves that are good, and we can delete the negative thoughts. Just press delete. The third thing, start to tell the people around you, maybe the people around you today, start to tell them what you see about them that you like. Help them jumpstart their own positive thinking. And the last thing is, when you receive a compliment, when we receive compliments, let's stand our ground, let's look them in the eye, and let's just say, thank you. Let's create a new culture. A culture where we all get to grow up feeling good about ourselves. A culture where we can rewrite our histories, we can create new stories about ourselves. I want you to get out a piece of paper and I want you to write down the 10 things about yourself that you admire. The 10 things about yourself that if you were someone else, you might even be jealous of. And I want that to be the beginning of your story today.
Dr. Ivan Joseph of TEDx Talks also shares about self-confidence. As the athletic director and head coach of the varsity soccer team at Ryerson University, he is often asked what skills he is searching for as a recruiter. Is it speed, strength, agility? In Dr. Joseph's TEDx talk, he explores self-confidence and how it is not just the most important skill in athletics, but in our lives. He considered self-confidence as a skill because it can be trained.
I use the definition of self-confidence to be the ability or the belief to believe in yourself to accomplish any task, no matter the odds, no matter the difficulty, no matter the adversity. The belief that you can accomplish it, self-confidence. The easiest way to build self-confidence, there's no magic button. Repetition, repetition, repetition. The problem is we expect to be self-confident, but we can't be unless the skill or the task we're doing is not novel, is not new to us. We want to be in a situation where we've had so much pressure in that. The other one is self-talk. We all have this negative self-talk that goes in our head. Guess what? There's enough people that are telling us we can't do it, that we're not good enough. Why do we want to tell ourselves that? How do you build self-confidence? Get away from the people who will tear you down. There's enough of that.
Miss Universe 2018 Catriona Gray shares why self-love is important and how she gains her confidence.
Self-love isn't a destination, it's more of a journey. I don't feel like you'll ever really arrive because it's just something that you constantly have to work on. Loving yourself comes with really accepting who you are and to know yourself that intimately. Because once you know that, you will never look for someone to complete you. You'll never look for someone to define your worth. You'll have that within yourself. And so no matter what anyone does to you, you will never be left broken, or you'll never be left feeling like a part of you is taken, because you source that from yourself. And that's why self-love is so, so important. A lot of people look at Miss Universes or girls on stage and think, wow, they just have that, they just had that automatically. But confidence is a muscle that we have to choose to use every single day. Confidence is a choice that you make, and the more you make that choice, the stronger that muscle gets. So whenever I receive negativity in the form of comments online, I always tell myself, they don't know me as a person. They don't know who I am, the journey that I've been through, my values, my characteristics. And so since they don't know me personally, I always have to tell myself not to take their comments personally either.